The party has left Magnamar and is traversing an interdimensional maze under the control of the Pathfinder Society. At the far side, they expect to be thousands of miles to the east near the Finindar forest to meet with Eindo Klein, an expert on the sealing and preservation of ancient evils. Along the way, they've been warned that something has been corrupting the usual landmarks and that haste is their greatest ally. They just finished a fight, or a hazard here, with some corrupted mushrooms that were protecting this Fey hinge, and the inside of which they found a bundle of items of unusual but not magic origin.
Yeah, Libby, I'm not sure this loot was that good, but it might be it seems like whoever left this probably painted the runes that caused this mushroom explosion. I don't know what the purpose of it was, but we should be a little cautious.
I have been meaning to learn an instrument, though. Let me tuck the flute into my bag.
You continue on through the maze, and I believe the next place you are to encounter was an ancient temple.
Looks like from the notes as we walk into an old temple, we're looking for a statue in the northwest, and the way that it's pointing is where we should follow.
In this clearing, vines cover an ancient shrine built from stone. 4 stone pedestals surround the temple, stand empty, while 4 statues depicting humanoid creatures are lying in the grass and leaning against the temple's pillars. Inside the temple is a large bell, and the text on the wall above it says, "Sound the bell to greet the pilgrim standing tall and proud, and be greeted by 4 echoes." A faint scent of incense emanates from the shrine.
Looks like someone moved the statues?
Yeah, it kind of looks like some kind of puzzle.
Yeah. I'm going to investigate the bases of the pillars and see if I think the statues would fit in them in such a way that they don't rotate, because that could really get...
Sure.
Does it look like there's anything interesting inside the building itself?
Just the bell that says to be rung. But looking at the base of the pillars, you do see at least names and descriptions on them.
Okay, well, I guess we should figure out if some of these statues are healers or travelers or ghosts. I don't... Yeah. I'll walk over to the statues and start...
So you have 4 statues. You have what looks like, obviously, an elf, a human, a dwarf, and a donkey-headed person.
Not to stereotype, but Stoneroot sounds like a dwarven name.
It does sound somewhat dwarven. I'll take a look at the dwarven statue.
Taking a look at the dwarven statue. Okay. This statue depicts a female dwarf wearing a robe, an amulet, and other decorations. She carries a scimitar in a scabbard at her hip and a small curved baton on her belt. And on all of these, you can take a number of skill checks. Typically speaking, crafting, nature, perception, or society are the ones that are relevant to pick up different details about them.
Would Seer Elf come into play here?
What does Seer Elf do again?
It's basically lets me discern magic.
So there's no writings of a magical nature here. There is one magical effect in play. So if you are rolling on the thing where that matters, I will add the +1.
I'm going to look at the dwarf.
You want to try the crafting?
So that was Libbiel looking at the dwarf with crafting. You can tell that the design of the robe is very practical and is often seen on field medics.
So I was wrong. I think this might be the healer.
Dezi, you're doing a nature check on which one?
Also the dwarf.
Nature check on the dwarf. You don't know.
Sure. Then let's put them on the healer pillar, I guess.
That would be the top left, which I believe would be this one.
Yep.
While they were looking at that, Daegron was going to do perception on the elf statue here, and then he'll help them move them once he's done that.
On the look in her eyes is aloof and ruthless. This does not look like one you would want to cross.
Vanarel, can you determine anything?
Yeah, well, I'll check out the elf statue. The crafting was on the option.
The stone surface on the statue's armor has fine seams in multiple different textures, both rough and smooth, suggesting her hide armor was stitched together from the hides of many different creatures or animals. So, Libbiel, what was your second check there on?
That was also at the elf as
Okay,
well.
so same thing that Vanarel just heard.
Libbiel looks at Vanarel and asks, "Hunter, perhaps?"
And the rough details as
Hunter.
well. The statue depicts a tall, imposing elf woman wearing hide armor, a fur hat, and a round pennant around her neck, but carrying no weapons.
That was for the what?
That was the elf.
I'll do a nature check on them as well, just to
Um,
double check.
Yeah, I'm getting Hunter here.
The pennant depicts a canine paw print, which suggests she belonged to a druidic order of shapeshifters.
Oh, then yeah, I'd agree. The no weapon thing struck me as odd, but if she's a shapeshifter, that's one way to fight. So should we put her in the bottom right?
Now
Like this
we look
goat or mule?
So you're looking at the mule-headed human. This
I'll do a
statue
perception
depicts
again.
a humanoid creature whose body looks strong and covered in scales, but has a donkey's head. It carries a trident in the clawed hands and wears bone armor. And with your perception check there, I saw a roll from Dezi as well. Is that part of this?
Yeah, I was investigating using nature on this.
Okay, and a
I'm
perception from
going to
Daegron.
pile on as well.
So Daegron with perception, cracks at the base of the statue clearly don't match one of the pedestals. You can tell that this is not the bottom right statue, which you already have something there. But you can tell this one's not that one. Dezi, with your nature check, this looks very cold weather gear for all of the clothing. I think it's from a very wintry environment. And then Libbiel, with your crafting, the donkey's head doesn't match the overall sculpting style or technique at all.
Does it look like I could remove it?
No. But it does look like it may be a magical effect.
Should I try to counteract this magical effect that this statue is under?
I mean,
Yeah,
it doesn't seem necessary. I don't know.
it might be hiding a clue as to the true identity of this individual.
It's up to you, Libby. I don't know.
Okay, to counteract, do I have to spend the dispel magic?
Yes.
That's a really, really powerful spell for something that might be trivial. I think we'll come back to this and if we need a tiebreaker. This might be the Traveler, though.
That's my best guess, but maybe we check the other one out.
It will go over to the other one and check this one and see if we can process of elimination. We'll figure out who's who.
Yeah.
This statue depicts a bearded, muscular human man holding a sickle in the left hand and a pouch in his right. He wears simple robes and an amulet carved in the shape of a stag's head and has tools on his belt. From the crafting people, the statue's equipment includes a set of lovingly detailed stoneworking tools, indicating he may have been a sculptor or a stonemason. His sickle is clearly not suited for combat but herb gathering. His head and eyes are ever so slightly turned to the left, and there's a faint hint of a smile on his face.
Not a person who fights, so I think Gardener.
That's bottom left, I think.
Bottom left, yes. And then
Nope.
the last one. Okay,
I guess that one goes there.
Yeah, we'll just drag that one over.
I don't know if this is part of some ritual, but it seems like. What did that plaque say? I'll walk.
Sound the
basically
bell
now-
to greet the pilgrim standing tall and proud, and be greeted by 4 echoes.
Sure, we might as well ring the bell.
Make sure you have your weapons out.
Okay, so you're striking the bell. There's a moment of silence, and then 4 echoes come forth. And you see the donkey head disappear, becomes back to an Iruxi, a lizard folk head. And next to the bell, you see a small silver incense box featuring a stunning image of a long worm-shaped dragon.
Pick it up and take a look at it.
The walls also pull back a little. All the vines had been encroaching on this space, and now they're pulling further and further back away from this structure. And the structure now basically sits free of vines.
Well, I think we got it right.
Wait, which statue is pointing?
Northwest,
Right.
so the
North.
dwarf.
So you followed the direction of the point. Up next, the interlocking paths.
It says the word simply too, so I assume this will be not simple.
Just simply go out the far side.
Yeah, I'm sure there won't be anything weird like a dragon or something.
Desi sees the pile of stones in the middle and puts a hand gently on Libbiel's shoulder.
Hey, look, everything works out fine.
In this labyrinth of crisscrossing corridors, the air smells of damp earth and fresh foliage. Heaps of branches, rocks, and other junk block some of the corridors, and trinkets hanging from the hedge walls are swaying in the breeze.
Will you blame me for being curious about this place that is like the most interesting place I've been to that hasn't been actively evil?
I'm not supposed to say yes here.
I mean, it is a fascinating place, but
Yeah, it is kind
we
of
have to be
interesting.
careful. Just remember, we have something very dangerous that we're trying to get through. If
Do you want to
we
carry it then?
perish, not particularly.
I should have given you a tart. Keep forgetting
Uh,
I've got these tarts in my pack.
And from where you
Thank
are,
you.
you can see that there is a large pit on one of these sides.
Yeah, I'll head that way and look at it.
Not
Uh, is there anything around here I can fashion into a 10-foot pole?
You could There is some
Y-
debris on the ground. You might be able to pick some stuff up that's not attached to the vines from the walls. So maybe you could find something.
Okay, I'm going to improvise a tool, try to craft me a 10-foot pole out of it. So just the
Desi
crafting
will
check.
approach the pit
Oh,
and
I
look.
meant to roll that.
That's fine. So yeah, you've crafted a effective 10-foot pole.
I'm going to put it out in front of me and just check for traps. Let me go
Des-
first, I guess.
Desi's looking into the pit as well.
giant pit up here.
Yeah, the pit looks like it was dug relatively recently. What more about it are you trying to find out about it? There are
How
spikes
deep
at
is
the
it?
bottom. Oh, it's 10
Oh,
feet
there's.
deep. Yeah.
Okay.
And you do see something moving in the brush.
Hello?
Is a weird It's a weird blue-haired mouse-like humanoid, rat-like humanoid. It's hard to exactly describe. It has kind of hunched over, humpback, three eyes, big kind of goblin-y, gremlin-y ears, and looks rather angry and unhappy to see you. And it's munching on an acorn. And it's hissing.
Yes,
What is it? I'll try recall knowledge if it's not immediately attacking us.
I'll let you do that. You are aware that this is a type of gremlin called a nuglub. The towering hunchback nuglubs are among the largest of the gremlins, even though they're not quite 3 feet tall. They have three glowing blue eyes and black oily hair on their heads that covers them like a cloak. They enjoy killing with a glee that other gremlins reserve for sabotage. And what would you be wanting to know about them in particular with what you're trying to remember?
Given that, yeah, I'd like to know about any kind of weaknesses or resistances.
Weakness to cold iron, as they are fey.
Okay. Yeah, this thing's a bad fae that likes killing things. Hit it with cold iron.
well, I would very much like to not have to deal with him.
Sure, I guess we can try going around.
I'm going to keep poking the ground with my stick. Make sure I don't find another pit the hard way.
Vanarel is gripping the hammer in his right hand.
I don't want
extra
to
tightly.
alarm everybody, but it looks like our friend is going to meet us in the crossway here.
Desi double checks.
And you see another one ahead of you blocking your path.
They have friends.
Yes, they do.
Desi, do you want to try to convince them to get out of the way, or
Do I know if they speak?
You know that they tend to be able to speak. You don't know what languages are common to them.
I mean, I feel like
Well,
Libby might be better at that.
They're
Uh,
Fae, right?
do they speak Fey by chance?
You don't know. You can try, but so far
Uh,
they have been saying a few words that none of you have recognized.
Libby calls out in Fey. Hello there.
You hear a more hissing, guttural response back. It's not in Fey.
Well, do we turn back, see if we can double back around them, or
I think we need to go through them, and if they're gonna cause trouble, then they cause trouble. They're not particularly good. Daegron, do you want to take the lead here?
yeah, I guess I'll go.
here,
Maybe you can
have,
scare him out of the way.
have my pole.
I think we're close enough that I will pause us and put us into combat now. Still toggling things in.
Things.
Pay no attention to the word choice or the number of dice I'm rolling.
It's hard not to count how many dice you roll.
So up first is one of these nuglubs behind the pit. What does he want to do from back here? He's going to do a running jump across the pit. That's 2 actions. That's 3 actions. Second hour in, let's give a hero point. Dezi and Daegron are both out. Libbiel has 3, Vanarel has 1. I'm going to give 1 to Dezi. Next up on the initiative, Vanarel.
All right, one of them's trying to circle around, so I will meet him halfway, I guess. Even if they don't speak Fey, I will just kind of try to give it a warning, not like an intimidation or anything to back it off. Not that I think it speaks Fey, but just it feels instinctual since they're like gremlins and such. Second action, I will designate it as my hunted prey, and third, I will use a twin takedown on it a little backwards. I'm going to start with the hammer that I know is going to send the biggest message.
Which will hit. You're also feeling something ominous to the inside area of this forest. Doesn't seem to do anything to you right now, but something feels gross, icky, problematic. You're not sure what. That's also a hit. Daegron,
I think for now, let's see. How far?
give me perception check. Actually, probably roll it twice and take the worst. It might do that
Okay, I'll
automatically
just
for
go
you, though.
here for you.
It did not. Okay, so roll it a second time. You see there is another pit. You did not fall into it.
Okay, as he kind of goes by, he calls it out. And he's like, "Well, watch out! There's another pit towards the center." And he'll continue on in, and then raise his axe and try to smash it down into this little gremlin here.
That will hit.
Nothing
Oh, wait, one
great,
second.
9.
Everyone but Vanarel, give me this will save. Dezi saved, no one else did. So, yes, for your hit there, Daegron, I need you to re-roll.
Okay,
So you had a 21.
so it would have been a 2.
Fine.
So,
So it's a miss now. You feel like you're afflicted by some form of really bad luck. Actually, from where you are now, you can see these other 2, Daegron. So you're seeing 2 much smaller things that look almost like small dogmen, old first edition D&D kobolds, before the kobolds became more draconic in later versions. These look like, these are maybe about 1.5 to 2 foot tall dog creatures. Their ears, though, are still slightly more gremlin-y with the pointed spread ears than they would be for a dog.
okay, and then for his last one, he keeps his dueling parry going here, and he'll call back again and say, "There's more of them over here too."
And so up next is the one that you charged. Happy to see you right here. It's going to try to bite you with that huge rat-like jaw. It will hit you for a small amount of damage, 5 points. It will then try to grab you, and it got a critical success. You are restrained.
Oh, did it roll the nat 20?
It rolled a nat 20 and got a 21.
That's unfortunate.
And then it will try to claw you with its free hand and miss. Dezi.
Okay, well, I'm seeing that it looks as if Daegron needs the most help, so I think I'm going to move a little bit forward here. Then I'm going, what are some words? Metal forms around the hammer that I have on my side and launches some darts at it.
That's a critical hit, and you made the save, so you don't need to roll twice. One of these little dog-like creatures is up next, and it's the one right close to Daegron. He's just going to stride away from Daegron. Does Daegron swing at the little thing? Oh, you can't because you're restrained.
I'm restrained.
Yes, okay. So he strode away, and he is then going to shoot you with his short bow. And miss, and tries again. Miss. Libbiel.
Is going trying to find where the source of this unlucky aura coming from.
I can take a recall knowledge. I would take a perception check. Either of those I think could be appropriate.
Recall knowledge. Can I use Arcana or occultism?
It's Arcana or Nature are the best.
Arcana it is.
So even having to roll twice and take the lower, you know it is coming from these little dog creatures. These are pugwampy, which are mean, dog-faced, and scared little creatures. They take disproportionate enjoyment from the accidents and missteps of other creatures. Something that happens often due to the aura of bad luck that surrounds them.
See,
What would you like to know about them in particular, though?
I'd like to know if they have any exploitable weaknesses.
Like all the Fae here, a weakness to cold iron.
Can I see this one over here that I have targeted?
He's going to have some cover from the trees, but you can see him.
I'm going to attempt to shoot him with a live one.
And you hit even if I put some cover on, so that is a hit.
Take that.
One of them is up next. The other one over by Daegron is going to shoot 3 times. He does get 1 hit on one of those shots. 3 points of piercing damage to Daegron. And then the one that Libbiel was shooting at is going to move away. I will now need the save from Vanarel, because it has moved close enough that you're now affected by its aura of ill luck. You are unaffected by it. The one that was sneaking up to Vanarel is going next. Try to bite you. It is going to hit you. It is going to try to grab you. It fails to grab you. And then it will try to claw you. More attacks at your kneecaps. And that will hit for 7 points of damage. And it is now your turn, Vanarel. This thing has been harrying your kneecap.
All right. Well, it didn't get the message, so I will harry it with this cold iron hammer.
That is a hit.
Stop clawing me.
That's a miss.
My second action, I'm going to swing at the hammer that I know is going to do something, hopefully.
It will miss. It did it did something where something is miss.
Third and final. I'm just going to take a step back. This thing wants me that badly, he can spend his energy getting.
Daegron.
So he needs to just try to escape. There's nothing else he can do right now. I think plus 12 is his best. That's his athletics. Aura's unarmed, so he'll just do an unarmed attack here. Oh, hey, I rolled 2 4s.
Yeah, that
Jeez.
fails to escape.
He'll try it again. It'll be at map.
That fails.
Aura is really screwing him. All he can do is just keep trying.
And that just barely misses it. If that
Yeah,
had not been the
it
third
was
map.
If it wasn't the last one, it would have been great. He's stuck. This thing's just on top of him.
And it's gonna try to bite you now that you are on the ground and restrained. Actually, no, it can't bite you because that's what's holding you. It's gonna claw you. It will hit, and you can tell that it's now getting a sneak attack bonus that it wasn't getting before, as it's lashing into you and really pulling your body apart here. It's getting through the armor. It misses on its second claw, and it then spends its third action to keep the grab going. Dezi. Oh, and then it takes its persistent damage.
Yeah, Desi's most worried about Daegron given the situation. Vanarel seems to be doing pretty well back there. So I think we are, yeah. Let's cast, mutter some occult words. You see my fox tattoo glowing. I'll cast Sure Strike, and then I will fire some more needle darts at the one that's holding Daegron.
That's a critical hit.
Yes, free me.
And that one is dead, so
Here you
you would
need it.
not be restrained anymore.
Thank you.
No problem. Maybe get rid of the dogs, or yeah, get rid of those dogs.
So up next is one of the dogs who is going to shoot twice at Daegron, missed, and is then going to go scurrying away. Libbiel, you are next.
I'm going to cast Life Boost on Daegron, and then I'm going to attempt another Live Wire on the dog thing.
Natural 1. It is the other one over by Daegron's turn, is going to shoot twice, and then it is also going to back up, and then the one in the woods is going to keep making its way out of the woods, and is going to shoot at Vanarel twice, missing both times. The one that's been chasing Vanarel is going to close on Vanarel. It is going to try to bite you.
Get away. Those are my knees.
Nom 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 nom. Yummy knees.
God.
Not a crit.
Not a crit. And it will try to grab you. It grabs you. And it will then try to claw you, hitting again and getting its sneak attack damage. And we are up to Vanarel's turn.
You want to stay there and hold on to my pant leg? That's fine. I am going to use a twin takedown, starting with the cold iron hammer again. Teach this stupid thing a lesson.
You will miss.
The lesson of how to stay right there. Second hammer. The first one was all a distraction.
The second one was also a distraction.
Yeah, he's totally thrown off now. Third hammer.
That is a crit.
You just need the classic double
Just-
distraction.
Exactly.
And you are no longer grabbed as it dies.
Okay. I will take a look at this little tiny dog canine thing. I'll size that up as my next hunted prey.
Daegron.
Looking south here, where these little almost kobolds went, he's going to do a perception check. And I don't think he noticed if they went in a certain way, but he's seen multiple pits now. He wants to make sure there's nothing in front of him. So he'll roll Seek here. And that's in this area right here.
You see nothing in a burst around that.
Okay. So that's one action. He goes 20 feet for his second.
Well, right there, give me a reflex save.
Oh, that's not great.
Yeah, you're falling into that pit.
Oh, in we go.
10 points of bludgeoning damage, and you are prone at the bottom of the pit.
Okay, and then he's got one left, and I don't know, I guess he stands up at the bottom of the pit.
Dezi.
Desi was thinking Vanarel needed more help, but I think their opinion changed a little bit. So I'm gonna.
You just heard a random
Yeah.
holler from around the corner. And a thud.
get to there, and then I'm going to try to.
You from there you can see a pit. You don't see Daegron. You see two creatures.
Apparently, I heard a and but that's fine. I'm not worried about Daegron in terms of healing. I'm worried about these creatures firing down. So I will target the closest mighty elders.
That has enough range to get there.
Yeah, it's 60.
That will hit. 9
What
points
is
of
cold
damage.
iron? I don't know.
Yep, I did the right thing. They are up next. We have the one who is looking down on Daegron in the pit. Is going to shoot at least twice. Will hit Daegron in the pit for 4 points. It's like shooting orcs in a pit. Gets one hit out of its 3 shots, and it's Libbiel's turn.
Can Libbiel maintain 2 life boosts?
I believe you can. You have 2
I'm going
focus
to
points.
cast another life boost on Vanarel and be like, all right, I'm going to see if I can go help over there.
1 action left from there.
Are you okay down there?
Libbiel, no, don't.
Up next is the Pugwampy, the one close to Libbiel. But I think it's going to keep shooting at Daegron in the pit, because that looks like it's more fun and an easier target. You're down in the pit, it's up here. So it's going to take 2 shots, a miss and a miss, and then it's scared of being close to a big person, so it's going to run away.
Aha, my AOO. Kidding.
And then the one over by Vanarel is going to shoot at Vanarel. It hits Vanarel, and then starts making its way very slowly through the woods. Vanarel.
I'm gonna go along the pathway here. Where's Daegron?
Down
He's
here.
in the pit.
Oh, yep.
In the
Hey,
pit.
how's it going? Yep.
Hey, Daegron, hold on a second. I might have something for you.
Are you
Okay,
delaying,
I mean-
as Dezi asked, or are you doing something?
Yeah, I guess he'll delay. He doesn't. He was about to start climbing, but he'll wait and see. Worst case, he hops in right after him.
Okay, Dezi.
As he's gonna double move to get these things are size tiny, I'm assuming,
Yes.
right? Double move to there, and then I'm gonna try to shove the one that's near the pit.
Okay,
I'm not particularly good at these, but these guys are tiny, so I'm hoping it'll.
that is not a critical success, but it is enough
That's
to
fine. I
push
just
him
wanted-
there. He gets a reflex save to grab an edge. He is grabbing the edge. He's not in the pit, so he is hanging in the pit, though.
Can Daegron reach him?
20 feet deep.
Go ahead, Daegron. Sorry. I thought I had a gift.
Okay, Daegron,
No
you're up.
worries. Climb here with his athletic 22.
That is going to be a success, so you're 5 feet up the wall.
Okay, and he'll just keep going. Nothing else he can do here. There's no diminishing on this, right?
No. And do you have combat
aura.
climber?
No, but I am. Let me see.
So you probably had to stow your actions.
Okay, so then
as
that would have been
first
the 2
action.
actions then.
And then 2 actions
all.
climbing, so you're halfway up. The one of the Pugwampies is up next. The one that's in the pit, it looks like. Yes. So it's going to try to get out of the pit. It falls the rest of the way.
Okay, fine. I'm happy with what I did.
So it's
Can
going
I
to
punch
fall.
it as it goes
It's going
past?
to fall 17 feet, so it's taking 8 points of damage. So
I think
it's,
falling would cause forced movement. Sorry.
and yeah, you can't AOO that, but it does land prone. It then stands up, so that would have provoked, but you're 10 feet up the wall without a weapon in hand. It starts yelling in a language you don't know, and it just, you think it's throwing a tantrum at the bottom of the pit. Libbiel.
Well, that was a worthwhile thing. I'm going to try to reach down with the 10-foot pole that I have and try to aid Daegron out of the pit and just cast a live wire at the one that's remaining on top here.
That will hit.
Wow, surprise.
The one that's standing on top of Dezi does not like having Dezi right in his personal space and is going to stow the bow, draw a short sword, and swing at you once. Hits Dezi for a d6 minus 3 equals 1 point of damage. That was his 3. The one who is going through the woods is going to keep going through the woods. Takes it 2 moves. So it will come to the side of the pit here. And we'll shoot at Libbiel with the bow once. Hits 5 points of damage.
Oh, I was worried there for a second. I was
Vanarel.
like, "Huh?"
Came back. So are these squares to the left of Libbiel? Is this difficult terrain, greater difficult?
Greater difficult terrains where I've been using all of the tree areas.
Okay.
2 move actions get you there. Hunted prey on.
Takedown on him. Once again, starting with the cold iron hammer to try and send the message.
You were
That message
fated
is 2.
to meet
Oh,
again
that-
on the opposite side of the encounter map.
know what? I'm gonna use a hero point. And, just I just wanna just take care of
Yeah.
this.
Oh, that
Let's.
There you
Aw,
go.
Now I can't shove him into the pit. That was my plan.
That's okay.
that one is dead.
Okay. The other hammer would not have connected then, and
Dezi,
Dizzy will step to the south, and I think I'm just going to needle darts this thing from very close to try to get rid of it.
that will hit. Their AC is quite
Well,
low, especially when you don't have to take it, especially when you're not rolling twice, taking the worst every time. But there is still one alive in the bottom of the pit that's making the climbing harder for Daegron. And it is Daegron's turn.
Okay, we keep trying to climb on out.
Yep, you are 10
So
feet from
more
the top.
athletics checks here. Good on the first one. 26.
That is a crit. You are out.
Okay, nice.
Oh, good. My little pole helped.
Yes, I was trying to picture how the pole was helping. I almost felt like you were pushing him back down.
I was
but
trying to do a
so you can, if
So
you
that's
want
his
to.
first action. Second action, he pulls one of his hatchets out and chucks it down at the one that's in the bottom.
Okay,
So we'll do a range
You're gonna have
strike
to
on
get
him.
that-
you have to go
now
back
who's
in
in
the
the
pit.
barrel?
That's a hit.
Oh, minimum damage, but it's about the principle of the matter.
It is up next, and it's just cowering and like sitting down and crying in the corner of the pit. It has a -3 on its climb check here. It's not getting out of this pit.
maybe we just leave him. I feel a little bit bad.
Libiel.
They tried to murder me. I don't.
That's a good
Libbiel's
point.
like, I don't really want to bully the weak like this. She's going to go into the center and try to investigate this pile of rocks.
You see a very hideous statue of gremlins and a pile of acorns.
I'm going to knock over the statue.
Most of the acorns look eaten, but it does look like you still see there's shells on some of them, like the caps, and they don't look like they're from the area that you know.
All right, I'm going to take a sample just to have.
And I can say we're out of combat. I will let
I-
Daegron or Dezi
Daegron,
finish off
please,
the one
wait,
in there.
Wait, before you finish it off, Daegron, can you hold on a second?
Unfortunately, I don't really have many ways to kill it from here.
So we're out of combat. What are you doing?
I'm going to pull out our comprehension elixir and take it to try to figure out what these things are saying. We can question the one in the pit, presumably.
What languages does it give you? All languages? How does it work?
Understand any words you read so long as they're written. Oh, it's never mind. It is just that. Sorry, I thought it was here. Never mind. Doesn't work. Then
So
I'll just investigate the area, try to figure out what they had in the center there, or what was going on here.
Give me a perception check on that. What are Vanarel and Daegron doing?
Daegron sits next to the edge of the pit with his axe and just decides to come out. Otherwise, it can stay down there.
Throw rocks at it.
General's going to take just a moment to consider why something this size dug a hole, and then we'll go, I guess, check out the rocks with the Libby was looking at.
You can give me a nature check on that, Vanarel. Or survival, I guess, whichever of those you have that's better for you. You don't know why these things would have dug pits like that. That doesn't make sense. Dezi,
I know I made sense.
you see husks of the caps of the acorns that look like they were led in a trail to this location, that these things may have been following.
Oh, they were trailing something. Something brought them here, maybe? Oh, I see. So they were eating the acorns, maybe, and following whoever was leading them here with a trail of food?
I'm going to check over here for a pit.
You now that you know to look for one, you do see one there as well.
So there's
Don't.
no easy way across.
Don't go in.
Daegron, you should probably heal a bit more from the spell, I'm guessing, and then we can...
Well, yeah. Just tell me how long we're here, and
Oh, right, you've got that. You're going to be nearly full.
yeah. So this will give me what, 4 more? Because we had 2 rounds of it
I
up.
would
No, 3
like
rounds of it
to
up.
refocus completely up, which would be
Oh,
Yep.
okay. Then let's
20
just...
minutes.
Yeah, we can do
So I
that.
go to 45 from the spell, and then if you take 20 minutes to refocus, I'm
Vanarel, do you want to tend to... Libbiel, you're looking a little hurt there.
I was hoping Vanarel can help me.
If you're
Yeah, I got
spending
you
20
there.
minutes here letting that happen, I'd say this little guy finally finds a way to climb up and out of the pit and goes running away.
Bye, little guy.
When he gets to the top, Vano just gives him a stern point in the other direction.
And in the second 10 minutes, you see all of the pits start filling in automatically. And once again, the walls of the maze here become a little more formal, a little more classic hedge maze, and a little less overgrown and all woodsy like they were here.
Oh, that's weird.
Nice 2d8.
Have that 16 back.
Thank you.
Get you back up.
I think we're good to head to the northeast at this
Yep.
point.
I'm going to put you back on a different map. I had prepped something on this map. A path leads up to this clearing, which is in a chaotic disarray of elements in their rawest forms. Raging flames, a water vortex, jagged rocks and metal spikes, arcs of electricity and writhing vines. 6 corridors lead to larger chambers, each dominated by one of those elements. You see 2 creatures that are yelling at each other, like weird imps, gargoyles, something. One is kind of teal blue, slightly sweaty. Looks a lot, in some ways, like the gremlins you just fought, a little more demonic. And then the other one is more of a classic blue rather than a teal, but otherwise looks very similar, but does seem to have smoke billowing off of it.
Are they speaking classical Fae or differently?
They are speaking in common right now. And these 2 come in, they were arguing, they turn to you. Mediators, can you help us?
Um,
Sure.
sure. What are they? That's what that recall knowledge was for.
You don't know. They sure look like imps to you, but you don't think they're imps.
I don't know what. Okay. Well,
Hello. What exactly is the trouble between you two?
The elements, they're in disarray. Our masters are angry and arguing over whose fault is it. We don't know how to fix this.
I mean, I guess we could take a look. Do you have 2 different ideas? You want us to mediate, not fix the problem, or?
I think if you can calm down our masters, they can probably find a solution if they stop blaming one another.
I signal everyone to come in before I talk.
So we
Oh, just
just need to
real-
calm them down.
Yes,
Who
calm.
are your masters?
The one that had the smoke rising off its back says, "My master is Tidzian of the boundless skies." And the other one would say, "Vesimer of the icy depths." The smoky one here is named Areen, and the sweaty one is Rajapur.
Irene and Rajapur.
I
Well,
mean,
I'm going to talk to the party privately. Sounds like these guys have a bit of an issue, but we're not too far away from where we're headed. Do we even care?
I don't see any problem with helping out the travelers if this won't take too long. I don't know how far their masters are.
Yeah, it's just we do have a bit of a time limit since the stability of this place really does seem out of whack. Who knows if that will be able to even get to where we need to go.
If their masters are able to rebalance the elements, though, that might help the place be more stable.
And balancing it does sound like something the society would appreciate. But,
Well, maybe
alright.
they can
Do-
help us too. Do a little something to secure that box a bit more so that it doesn't hurt so much to carry it.
I'm not even going to let them see this thing.
What do you think, Daegron?
I mean, if anything, as we've removed the chaos from here, it seemed to solidify, or almost calm down. If we have to beat a retreat at some time, it might be worth it to have more stable line of retreat.
Then perhaps I should present my theory as to what's going on here. It seems that there was another traveler coming through here who disturbed each of the places we've come to and left behind some mundane but perhaps disruptive objects. That bundle that they were resting on, the acorns that they perhaps were snacking, and various other things.
Oh,
Yes,
there was
like
also the statues were removed from where they were. It would make sense. I think you're right. We're following after something else. Maybe Fae, as you thought in the beginning.
I would think. Okay,
Yeah,
they
that's what I imagine, but I don't know.
whoever this is likely a disruptive influence. So
The 2 creatures are starting to kind of, they let you walk away to discuss, but they're like walking towards you. "Please, we need your help. Things are only going to get worse here. Some of you, please, come with us."
Maybe I really think we should help out. I don't know. They seem sincere enough.
okay,
Yeah,
that's good.
actually, Dagron's going to do a quick little perception as they kind of come over to see if it seems sincere or if this is something that's also chaotic as everything else has been.
This seems sincere. It seems like These are two underlings to powerful bosses who want everything to work. They may come from different factions, but they are not on opposing sides, and they are not trying to trick you.
Yeah.
This is
So I think, yeah, Daegron says, he's like, well, let's at least take a look, see if we can help.
this is a cry for help, and these are the Zions of this place. So perhaps we should listen to them. Yeah.
So you will need to split into two teams. They can be 1 and 3 or 2 and 2 to go address the respective bosses.
I think 2 and 2 would be the ideal.
Yeah, I think so. I
Yeah.
think Desi would very much prefer going to the not the cold side, but the airy side.
So it's more air and water are the two elements here, but a little bit of ice is part of the theme of the water one.
I think it should be one of you two pointing at Daegron and Vanarel, with one of us pointing at me and Desi. We go to each one. Anyone who's got preferences?
You can move your token up next to whichever of the scamps you want to help.
Sure, I'm going to go to this one because he looks cooler.
That's the icy one, I'm guessing.
That's the air one.
That's the air one, right?
Yeah.
All right. Well, if you go into that one,
Daegron and
then
I
we'll
are of
go-
a pair. We'll keep this
Okay.
going.
They will both warn you that getting to their boss will be a little bit of a challenge first before you can address them. And we will do the air one first. You must first withstand strong winds as he leads you down the path away from the main chamber to the side one. And I will need an acrobatics check or an athletics check or a nature check to make progress with the wind. Either
All
brute
right.
forcing it, tumbling with it, or using your knowledge of nature to make it work.
Do you want these blind or?
We can do these public. Okay, you've both made it through there very easily. And up ahead, you see a very stately hawk made out of wind. Who have you brought to talk with me? And the scamp will introduce, these are two we found wandering the maze. They must be here on behalf of society who we know supports this place. We asked them to help. And Tidzian looks at the two of you and, can you solve the problem of the elements? Everything is in an uproar. What can you do?
Cooperation was key. I know nature likes balance. Perhaps combined the two forces of your elements could work to solve this problem.
Give me, it sounds like a diplomacy check there.
I was actually aiming for
I'm-
nature if possible, because I'm very bad
Okay,
at diplomacy.
I'll take a nature on that.
Yeah, if Dezi wants to go more like the balance of nature, Daegron he'll try to assist with the diplomacy. He'll kind of say, as he was saying, balance is important. You have a peer who, if you worked with, I'm sure you could sort this problem out yourself.
My dice do
Yep.
not like me.
I see. Let's see
And,
Daegron's
for
roll.
this-
You
Same
can
thing.
tell
Well-
that it's not impressed with you. It also seems like it gets too distracted and just it's not paying attention to you at all. We're gonna jump over to the other group, talking to the water side.
Right?
And to get through the trial, you must brave a large pond full of frigid water with an elemental sitting at the center. You can swim across, you can fortitude save to deal with the cold water, or you can crafting check to make a raft to cross, or other ideas you may have.
If you give me a minute, I can make that raft.
Well, let me give you a hand. I can try to aid you on this.
So you do your aid first, I believe.
Yep.
And that's what's sitting on the middle of the island.
Oh,
Oh,
wow.
she's pretty. I'm glad we went this way.
Okay, yeah, I successfully aid. You got +1.
Okay.
Do have the hammers to nail all the logs together.
And then I do this as a blind, right?
You can do this public. That's fine,
Oh.
either way. That is not a success.
Oh no.
So
I would love to re-roll that.
if you have a hero point, you can. I think
I
you
do.
still do. Yes, you do.
I can't see it. I'm sorry.
That is now a success. So with the raft, you've got yourself across. It does look like this lady on the far side might be a little less impressed that you did it by going over the water than going through the water. She is now looking a little bored and wants to know how you can help. How can you help resolve the imbalance in the elements?
If I were to put the pieces together as we approach this area, I believe that there might be a disruptive influence, another person who has entered this place and might be throwing off the balance. We could perhaps track them down and remove them from this place.
You believe that, so to you this is a diplomacy check, right?
Yes.
Then you can roll that. And what is Vanarel trying here?
I was kind of thinking the way that they have an area of expertise sort of the same way that we do. That's why we went over the water instead of into it. Tackling this from multiple angles is going to be key to success. Working together. That means working with your other air buddy over there. Otherwise, you just sit here and you just slam your head into the wall the whole time.
So go ahead and give me
Work
whatever
together,
roll you want
element.
to do for that. Sounds like another diplomacy from you.
It's felt diplomacy-ish. I wasn't sure where I was going with that.
It's not a success. It's not a critical failure.
Well, like I said, I didn't know what I was just talking about. So
However, that was still enough successes exactly with the last one that Libbiel made to get them to agree to work together a little bit. And now that they're not arguing and placing blame on each other, they do find that there is simply a very simple seal that fell off of its pillar, that putting it back on there has resolved the problem in a very trivial manner. And they actually seem a little embarrassed that they made such a big deal out of this. They do look impressed that you helped them out, that you took the time, and that you didn't belittle them the entire time. As you are wrapping things up there, across the way, leaving along the path that you're supposed to go, you do see a very small, dog-like humanoid look at you, pull its eyelid down, and then go running off into the woods. And we will pick up there next week.